There is something to be said for how games evoke memory in the people who play them. Twilight Princess is one where the aesthetics and the vistas of the sweeping scenery bring me back to being a child and exploring these wide-open, dusky spaces. These ethereal worlds lit in a liminality that created a consistent pull for my kid brain that would imprint on my aesthetic sensibilities for years to come. I've spoken on this before, but Chulip hits a similar place in my brain, distortions of nostalgia and all, in spite of it not being a childhood game for me. There is one game from my childhood that has eluded me, however. One that I did not engage with to the extent that I wanted to due to the fact that I found it extremely difficult to figure out, and also found the slow pace uncompelling as I was, well, a child. This was Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life occupies an interesting aesthetic and thematic space, caught somewhere between the aforementioned Chulip and bizarrely Dragon Quest V: Hand of the Heavenly Bride. The game follows the life of the main protagonist from their beginnings as a young adult to their eventual death of old age. This kind of story, one where we observe the life of a single actor, is interesting. Granted, this is not the entire life of the protagonist, which would be impossible, of course, in a video game. But the aspects it chooses to focus on are extremely bespoke, even for this already bespoke archetype of video game storytelling. Aging, winding down, and the inevitable release of death. In Dragon Quest V, we see the beginning of the main character's life, his scrappy rise to happiness even from the massive setbacks that he experiences throughout it. We end that game on a pretty conventional note, with him and his family content in their existence, but notably now no longer the focus. This is what fascinates me so much about A Wonderful Life. It fixates on the mundane. The most conventionally exciting aspect of this game is finding a wife and getting married, after which a normal game would end. But it doesn't. Most of the game isn't about that. So much of A Wonderful Life fixates on the transitory periods of life, spaces without much going on. Marriage and childbirth and death are all important aspects of life, sure, but a lot of it is simply taking care of your family and taking in everything they've gone through. Maintaining a healthy marriage with your wife. Keeping connections with people and seeing how those people influence your child. Running your farm. It's the Sisyphean journey of the day-to-day that the game is most concerned with. No grand quests of internal progress and no sweeping character drama. Your personal growth comes from the decisions you make in a daily sense, the small mistakes and victories. The connections you make are not to some exterior end goal, they are fulfilling in and of themselves. When you die at the end of the game, everything that you gained over the course of the game is totally lost. But those lived experiences, no matter how temporary, were real. They mattered to you, and will matter to you, until you forget or pass on yourself. Even then, the fact that they ever mattered to you is the only thing that's important. Life isn't about living for as long as possible. It's about making the most of yourself as you grow and change and become something different. Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life isn't something that appears to be anything special on the surface. Another farming simulator, another set of tasks, another idyllic village where you can woo a sweetheart. But it's in the simplicity and its aesthetic priorities that it shows its true colors. It's not about some grand farming escapist fantasy. It's about a picture of a life. A snapshot of existence, one that doesn't need to be justified within the context of some larger grandiose plot. Joy is found in small things. The world shifts and changes around you, but you stay sedentary. You have settled. The journey is over. Now, all you must do is simply exist. This has been Arcagent Everlasting, who adores the trickery of the eternal struggle that is life, signing off. Thank you for watching.